we're celebrating our great fellows here, but we're also celebrating the potential of the future. Joe and I work for a few other organizations or associated with them. I was a teacher fellow with the Lowell Milken Center in Kansas, and they celebrate Irena Semler's life, a Holocaust rescuer. I was just on the phone with their director just 2 days ago before the John Kerry talk, and he said, good news, we're now, you are our first fellowship class with 4 fellows. Now we're up to 27 this year. The Holocaust Museum, their fellowship program is now in the 15th year, and they welcome fellows from Turkey and Armenia this year as well to the American Fellows. So what you're seeing is a great start, but it's a start that we hope has long-term benefit. And the center, the future of the organization is directly linked with the future, our association with teachers. All right? One thing as history teachers that we get to see is how history works and how it's passed on through generations. And the internet makes that storytelling easier than ever. But it also creates fierce competition between historical players for time in the classroom. You would think it's preposterous that Eleanor Roosevelt or Robert H. Jackson or Lincoln would have to sell themselves in the classroom. But because teachers have access to resources, there's competition. And that's why we want our voice representing Robert H. Jackson to be at the top of the list. So we're thrilled that you're here. And just as a brief overview, some of you have seen this before, but our job is to not only tie in Jackson's biography, that great story of the small-town boy, going large through FDR's cabinet, but the story is equally as important to tell. We want to get that across nationally, but how can we get our students to think and act like Jackson in a just and equitable way and have the courage to go against the grain and speak truth to power in a way that will make the world a just and more fair place. So that's the background here. But this is what you're seeing here today with the fellows is part of a larger package of items here that will hopefully get this message across that Joe's going to describe right now.
So we have a number of different initiatives to bring Jackson to teachers across the country. One of them is our award for educators. This award honors a teacher who has gone above and beyond teaching the concept of justice using the legacy of Jackson. Here's our winner for the local award this year, Walter Robertson. He's a teacher in Dunkirk, New York, fantastic teacher. He gave this amazing speech at the awards dinner. And, we're so happy to give him this award. But think about the benefit of that award. Now his entire school knows about it. It was in the newspaper. Hundreds of teachers in Western New York know about Jackson because of the award. This year, for the first year, we're giving a national award. We've partnered with the National Council for the Social Studies. And we had some amazing applications. And this year, the award that we're going to give in St. Louis in November is going to go to a teacher from Oregon. I mean, how amazing is that? Jackson's reach grows. And thousands of teachers were introduced to Jackson through this national award. Locally, we're doing 2 teacher workshops every year. One in the fall and one in the spring. And we try to have one workshop that's day long and one that's in the evening, maybe from 4 to 8 o'clock. And we've had a number of speakers. Great attendance so far. Last year we had a day-long workshop at the courthouse. We had over 50 teachers there. Fantastic speakers. The Red Cross partnered with us. And we're thrilled about our workshop this year because, like Greg mentioned, Carrie Korematsu is going to be one of the keynote presenters. So we're doing this workshop in Kenmore, and we've been able to partner with Erie 1 BOCES and Erie 2 BOCES, which are the regional educational organizations. And the advantage of that is schools will be able to get substitute reimbursement if they send a teacher to our workshop. We've also partnered with Buffalo State, the Holocaust Resource Center of Buffalo, the Summer Institute for Human Rights. So we have a lot of partners bringing a lot of people together. And we hope to have 100 teachers. This is going to be held at the Kenmore Staff Development Center on October 17th. We're doing a lot of national outreach. And we kind of think of this as like a staircase of involvement. The first step is introducing Jackson to people. And how do you do that? You do that through emails, you do that through meeting people, by having a table at a conference. Last year we attended the National Council for the Social Studies in Seattle, and we also attended the New York State Council for the Social Studies Convention. And set up tables, had great conversations. So that's really the first step. The second step is giving people a longer workshop, maybe an hour long, hour and a half workshop. And we've presented at all these conferences. And the third step on that staircase is the fellowship program. To take people who want more and want to learn more and want to be more involved and push them to the next level.
And this brings us to our time with our fellows today. So for the next hour or so, and we'll take a small break in between, each of our 4 fellows from Western New York is going to spend about 15 minutes going over a lesson project that they were instructed to create and that they were paid for. One thing that we're pleased that the center has bought into is that if you want teachers on board, you need to treat them professionally in a manner that they deserve. So through the several benefactors, our fellows here received a stipend earlier this summer for roughly $750, and once they're done today, and these lessons, more importantly, are on the internet to be shared worldwide, they'll get a second check of the same amount. This is really important, and this is, long-term, where we need to be headed, that we want to get the best teachers around there representing the center, and there's competition for them too. So with that as a background, thank you for being here today on a Saturday morning. We'll try to make this short and sweet, but the payoff is huge here because all these lessons will be on the internet and hopefully outlive us all. So for the 4 of you, on behalf of Joe and I, it's our privilege to introduce you here, and this is an exciting moment for the center. And no pressure, Jim, but you go first. And it was an application process that was open for the fellowship around Western New York. We had over a dozen applications that were all worthy of consideration, but the 4 there stood out.